Well, hey guys. Hi. Response right from the front row. It's very exciting. So as Lydia said, my name's Jono. And this year we're planning a big year. Bear Grylls has agreed to be the face of Alpha across the globe. So in 169 countries, actually we added Tonga last year. So 170 countries and 113 languages across the world, Bear Grylls is going to feature on billboards, bus shelters, all sorts of places all over the place. And here in New Zealand, we're really encouraging churches to think about running Alpha in Term 2 as a way to reach out. Term 2 starts May 1st, and we're hoping to do a big advertising push in April in the lead up to Term 2, so that it encourages your friends, colleagues, workmates, family members to see Alpha in different places, and then get an invitation from you and the members of your church to come along to their local Alpha near them. But we're not only the Alpha course. One of our best courses over the last couple of years, in fact we've been number 3 in the world for downloads, it's been the UK, the US and then New Zealand, has been the prayer course. And it's a totally free course to download. They're 20-minute videos headed by a guy named Pete Gregg, who some of you might have heard of. He started a 24/7 prayer movement accidentally that took off across the world. And actually the Salvation Army here in New Zealand really took it on and did some amazing things with it. But the prayer course sort of came out of that 24/7 prayer movement of people wanting to spend more time in prayer. And what we've found is that it's just lifted prayer in church. It's a 6-week course that goes through the Lord's Prayer, 20-minute videos that are super easy to interact with. We've seen teenagers use this course as well, and it's been great for them as well, just raising prayer in their community. And the fun thing is, for a lot of churches, it's been something where they've struggled. It's been something, like, as Tuck was saying, that that maybe they're not seeing the answers to prayer because they're not passionate about it. Well, this course just really helps small groups, church groups go through the basics of prayer and make sure that they get it cemented. I'm lucky to head the organisation, and we have staff around the country, and they do a lot of visiting of churches. And one of my guys went to a church in the Hawke's Bay and went to talk to them. And the pastor there, she said, well, actually, we're not really interested in Alpha at the moment. We're not really in the place where we can do evangelism. And my colleague just sort of talked to them for a bit and said, well, what about prayer? And she said, well, if you could sort out the prayer life of our church, I think that would be amazing. I think if we could sort out the prayer life of all churches, it'd be amazing. And so my colleague Tim talked to her and said, well, why don't you think about running the prayer course? And so they did. And it just, for them, they ran it all through their small groups. They had 5 or 6 small groups that ran it at the same time. And it just suddenly lifted this need for prayer. And she found an amazing difference happening on Sunday mornings. She then met with my colleague again, and he suggested to her that why don't they think about doing a 24/7 prayer room? And she was terrified. She thought that she would probably end up filling out all the slots and having to do all the prayer throughout midnight and all of those sorts of time slots. And actually, it filled without her having to even put her name on it. And they set up a room that overlooked the town that they were in. They were in Hastings. And they had this amazing sort of upper room where they went and prayed. And they did this 24/7 prayer. And then my colleague met with them again and just said, so how did it go? She said, well, suddenly I've got this whole group of people that have God's heart for their community. They're praying. And God's telling them things to do. I think we're ready for evangelism. Do you have anything that could help with that? Yes. Well, we do. We're Alpha. So we did. Now, if you are interested in any of these courses, at the back there, Nadine is at the stand, and we've got all of our courses on an iPad back there and some headphones so that you can come and have a listen, have a look, see how it'll work. Our Alpha courses are free to download, so you can get all the video content. The prayer course is all free to download. We also do marriage and parenting. We also do stuff like God at Work, and further discipleship courses as well. But come and see Nadine at the back, and she'd be very happy to talk to you about any of those sorts of things. And we love new wine. My staff now fight over who gets to come to new wine. So for us, this is we just love being here with you guys. For me, I came the first year by myself with the stand. The second year, I got my family to come. The third year, the staff were fighting over it. It has just been, we love being part of your community and helping churches as we can to see you connect and see people come to Christ who are your friends, your colleagues, your workmates, your family members. We love being part of this, and I hope you have a great rest of the camp.